Good evening, it's Jill Starr again. I apologize I haven't been online for a while, but I'm in terrible pain, and I'm waiting to either have surgery or an epidural or something. In any event, I wanted to talk this evening about a gentleman I used to date, a gentleman and an officer of the CIA and the NSA, Central Intelligence Agency, and the National Security Agency. He's still a present teacher at William Patterson University of New Jersey, where I'm an alumni at, in Wayne, New Jersey. When we were close to becoming engaged, he had confessed to me an entire myriad of crimes against humanity, genocide, rapes that U.S. servicemen committed in Vietnam, in South America, and in other places where he used to work as a hired mercenary and a hired assassin of the CIA. I'll never forget Clyde Magarelli, who is another professor at William Patterson University of New Jersey, besides Daniel Kolak, who I spoke of in another video, who hates Jews. In fact, for the past 25 years, Mr. Magarelli, Clyde Magarelli, has been preaching the Holocaust never happened and that it is a hoax. And many 18-year-olds that take his sociology classes at William Patterson College actually believe this. He says that there were no gas chambers and a lot of other things that are shameful and outright illegal if you were to be in a European country where it's against the law to deny the Holocaust. But for some reason, they don't untenure him, and they keep him, and I know very well at William Patterson College, he teaches this type of material, because I took one of his sociology of war classes. He teaches at West Point, and he teaches at Sing Sing Prison in New York State, and where he gathers a lot of information he can use elsewhere. He's quite a raunchy person who, during the time he was dating me, told me he was engaged with nobody, and he was such a good liar. I actually believed him until one day the woman that he was actually living with in this mansion by West Point, who I was living at myself, we never even knew each other existed. He was such a two-timing liar. And CIA, I guess they taught him that stuff at the CIA. Anyway, ended very badly in court. Although I saw no evidence of any war crimes in the former Yugoslavia when I was there in 2001, when me and Clyde used to go out during his lunch breaks at William Patterson College, he was an alcoholic. We used to go to the park, we used to drink a bottle or two of wine. He used to sit down there and cry about the crimes the United States committed in Vietnam and Cambodia and South America. And he told me of the times he used to be in the jungle, he used to have to cut people's throats with knives, the enemies, and he said he was had to do so, was given orders by the servicemen above him to assassinate people for money. Working for the CIA, he used to be in the jungle and have to eat lizards and spiders for food. He told me that when he was a West Point professor and he worked at the CIA in South America and in Vietnam in particular, he said there were entire brigades of American servicemen that raped children, shot the men in the head, just the same type of thing the Serbs are being accused of in Srebrenica. It was very disgusting, but apparently the U.S. Can't stand up to the same high-minded human rights standards it demands other countries to, and its own servicemen, such as Clyde and Magarelli, have to confess to me in tears on a lunch break at Wayne Parks while they go teaching sociology of war afterwards, after they are so upset from drinking wine and hard liquor on their lunch from the crimes they committed while in Vietnam. He told me that brigades were given orders by their U.S. superior captains to rape and pilgrim and pick up the booty of Vietnam villages, kill children, put bullets through the head, cut the throats of men in South America, just. And here we are, the United States, that wants to drop bombs on other countries that are undemocratic and commit war crimes. What a farce. If there's one thing Jill Starr can't stand, is hypocritical bullshit. And well, the United States is nothing but Hillary Clinton and Madeleine Albright spearhead all that shit. Excuse my, pardon my Francais, but I'm sick of the United States dictating how Serbia should handle and be a democratic country when the United States servicemen go around waterboarding other countries' civilians. My son works in the army, and during the time that what the heck is that? Miss Pelosi, Majority Speaker of the House, said she didn't know anything about any waterboarding or any torture and enhanced interrogation techniques. My son told me he was being taught waterboarding in Fort Bragg. So Pelosi should be thrown out. Well, we don't have to worry about that now because she's not having another session. But she lied about not knowing anything about waterboarding and enhanced interrogation in Pakistan and Afghanistan, because in January of 2 years ago, when she was saying that my son was in the army in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, was being taught how to torture and waterboard the enemy in Afghanistan, Iraq, and other countries in the U.S. Army. So Pelosi knew everything about it. Don't tell me my son, a mere sergeant at that time, didn't know anything about it. But she didn't know anything about it, but him, a mere private, and then later sergeant, and now a first-class sergeant did. That's bullshit, Pelosi, liar, lying bitch. And furthermore, if the Hague wants to walk around the world prosecuting people for crimes against humanity, I can give them an entire book of confessions of American servicemen and people that used to work for the CIA and NSA, such as Clyde Magarelli. Just tell me where to start, grommets, whenever you're ready, sir. Another thing I don't like is selective law enforcement, and that's something the United States seems to practice from and as much as it preaches. It's shameful, Hillary Clinton. You shouldn't be Secretary of State. You should be Secretary of a garbage bin cesspool, probably, but nothing of the Secretary of State. And that goes much more for you, Miss Albright.